I want to talk about the Pistons. 13 straight wins as we're recording this. They have a chance to break the franchise record with 14 straight wins on Wednesday when they play the Boston Celtics in Boston. So TBD. But either way, super impressive what they're doing. I was really high on the Pistons going into the season. They remind me of like an Eastern Conference Oklahoma City Thunder. Like they're third in defensive rating in the league. An awesome defense that does a lot of the same things that OKC does, not at the same level, right? That's why I say Eastern Conference Thunder. Like it's a Thunder light, but it's the same sort of model. Like they're second behind OKC in opponent turnover percentage. They're second behind OKC in points scored off of turnovers. They have the third best defensive rating in the league, and they've allowed the third fewest points in the paint per 100 possessions behind the Thunder and another team. And you just look at the model, elite defense plus MVP caliber dude leading your offense. And that has historically been a formula for success in the NBA. I don't know if they're the best team in the Eastern Conference, Mo. I don't know if they're going to make it out into the NBA Finals, but nobody thought the Pacers were going to make it to the Finals. I think the East is even more wide open than we thought it was going to be coming into the season. And right now the Pistons are standing on top, and I've been super impressed, and I cannot count them out.
Let me put it to you this way. Nobody should be counting them out. I know I came out and basically did that to start the show, but like the concept, a few things you got to look at with them that I think really kind of matter. One, just the history of the past few NBA Finals, like you've said, we've always had a surprise team in the finals. Mm-hmm. Last year was the Pacers. The year before was Dallas making it to the finals. Somebody you got to remind, was it the Warriors?
2023 was the Heat.
The Heat making it to the finals. Yep. 2022 was the Warriors, and they won it, right? Like that's like we are kind of seeing a team that's kind of like, hey, situation works out, and it's been on both conferences. Weird things happen in the playoffs, plain and simple. The other thing that really impresses me about the Pistons that I think we don't give them enough credit for, they've played 11 clutch games and are 10-1 in clutch. Like they take over at the end of these games, right? They have a net rating in clutch, which again is small sample size and all that stuff, 44.6. Wow. So when the game is on the line, they go up another level. And that starts with Cade, by the way. Because that was also a knock on Cade early on, was Cade's great for the first 3.5 quarters. But when it comes to nut cutting time, he ain't there. Well, he's there now. And we started to see this last year, and now it's kind of evolved. And you're right. He's an MVP caliber guy right now, the way he's playing. This is pretty impressive with what the Pistons have done. They've avoided also the more impressive thing. And this is kind of another, I shouldn't call these Moisms, but Mo thoughts or whatever. We've seen many teams take a leap as a team and outperform what was expected of them, and then the next year with expectations crumble.
Right.
They've even
the Atlanta Hawks effect.
Well, the Hawks, the Kings. When I think of this, to be honest with you, I go back to the New Orleans Hornets, not the Pelicans, the Hornets. When they're the Hornets, because that was something where they came up really, and then they fell off and they never got back. It's like Memphis is a great. We see this all the time with teams, right? It's sustained success is so difficult. These Pistons not only aren't crumbling expectations this year, they're exceeding them. And even if they have a bad stretch, they've banked so many wins right now. It's not going to make a big difference, as long as it's not like an absolute insane stretch. But I just think when you look at the way they're put together too, and here's the scary part, like I still want to see what it looks like with Jaden Ivey.
Yep. We haven't gotten a lot of that. I know he just got back. We're still sort of waiting to see what this team looks like at full strength. And look, they've beaten Cleveland 3 times now.
Maybe I have to. Let me pull up the schedule. You talk. I'll do this. You do that.
They beat somebody enough times where now the tiebreaker is going to matter. No, they didn't beat Cleveland 3 times. What am I talking about? Anyway, I'm thinking about a different team. No, that was Toronto. Sorry, I was talking about Toronto earlier. Toronto's
The second place team.
Yeah, the second place team. That's gonna matter. That's gonna matter potentially in the standings. But with the Pistons, the Cade Cunningham part is huge, and his clutch performances have been awesome. And the pull-up three has been such a part of his game now, and he's been working on this forever. But it's really you're starting to see it over the last couple of years. You're starting to see the results of the work that he's put in. But it's also just the control that he plays with. It's the intensity that he plays with. Him and Scotty Barnes, while we're at it, we can just kind of talk about both of these teams, I guess, at the same time, are showing a level of emotion on the court and explosiveness on the court that, not to do too much of the vibes stuff here, but I'm going to do it. Like that's when you're hitting that higher plane, right? When you're able to have fun on the court and talk trash and do all these things. The reason we inherently like all of that stuff is because players are just hitting another level when they're there. They're not so focused on just doing the right thing possession to possession. They actually can expend some of that energy in blowing a kiss as you're high stepping to a dunk in Scotty Barnes' case, or in Cade Cunningham doing a little bit more trash talk than we've seen the first couple of years of his career. That stuff to me really matters. And when you start seeing that, and now there's sort of the emotional kind of barometers of their team, players follow that, right? When Scotty Barnes is into the game, now the Toronto Raptors are a little bit more fired up. And Barnes, the level of leadership that he's showing in Toronto in terms of being a fiery competitor on the court and holding his teammates accountable, you always see Scotty Barnes talking and pointing to his teammates and doing all this. They haven't had that in Toronto since Kyle Lowry. Like, they haven't had a leader like that in a long time. And for Detroit, heck, I mean, this is a team that would make the bad boy Pistons be very proud because they're in the mud. They're defensive. They're just going to get into you. The snot factor for them is off the charts. And it's not always pretty, but they're getting a lot of wins to your point, Mo. I don't really care what the offensive rating is. You got to just score more points than the team in front of you. And Detroit does a really good job of that.
Yeah. And I think so, like looking at first, kind of Detroit's side of it, it's a physicality when you go to play them. And this is something that I think has been starting the past few years with guys like Isaiah Stewart, Holland, Duran, all
Ron
those guys.
Holland is a motherfucker. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. That guy will fight
on your team
yesterday. Yes.
You want him on your team. Like, that's not even a question in that regard. I think the other thing too with the Pistons, and to go to your Cade Cunningham, and this will transition to Scotty Barnes, there's also a level of confidence and belief in themselves that allows them to do this. Right.
It ain't
now
fake.
It's not like, I'm not sure I'm the guy. It's, I know I'm the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to do the I'm him thing because I hate that. But like, I know that I'm hitting where I'm supposed to go. I know where I'm better than I'm stepping on the court, and pretty much every night I believe I'm the best player on the floor, and I actually am most nights, right? I have the capability of being that on most nights. And that's the same thing with Scotty Barnes, where you're beginning to see that confidence, and that allows your leadership to grow and become that guy and be more vocal with your teammates and on their ass when they screw something up and things like that. Like, I like where I was low on the Raptors. I'll be honest. Like, I didn't expect this coming. I thought their offense, the ball was going to stick way too much. I thought it wasn't going to move. I said, you have 3-4 guys that are ISO players that I don't really trust to really get you going. I've been blown away with what they've done. They play fast. They play fast in the half court, which is something I absolutely love. They look to push in transition. They look to kind of be aggressive. Defensively, they're great. They're all over the place defensively. Long, lanky. The game-saving block. They had 2 game-saving blocks against the Charlotte Hornets probably about a week or 2 ago. And it's impressive when you watch the way they fly on the court. And I think that's a credit to them, kind of saying, like, this is who we're going to be. Players have bought into the coaching, and it's paying off in the way it's going. And then you have a guy like Barnes who is taking that leap forward. And you're saying, like, okay, this is the Scotty Barnes we've been waiting for a long time, and I wasn't sure we were ever going to get it. I knew the talent was there. I didn't know if we'd actually ever see it.
So I was a big Barnes fan coming into the draft. And then over the last few years, I've been like off the side, kind of just selling some of my Barnes stock. I'm like, I don't really know. I'm kind of trying to hedge a little bit on this. I'm regretting all that stock that I sold. He's not even taking this huge leap in terms of scoring or anything like that. I don't even know that you'll see it on box scores. Like his true shooting is higher than it's ever been, but like whatever. You're just seeing him connect it on a possession to possession basis. He's figured out his game. He's playing with pace. He's playing well with a physicality that we've never seen from him, where he's mean. He's 6'8". This is the first year he's played like 6'8" consistently.
Yeah.
He's played 6'3" for most of his career up until this point. He's using that height. He's putting his back into guys. When he's got a small on him, he's really quick to get into that decision and make that decision to get into the post. Even with the 3-point shooting stuff, he's not going to be respected from outside probably ever in his career. But if the ball gets swung to him and he sees like a little bit of a driving lane, he's gonna and you're playing off of him, he's gonna go and he's gonna go at you fast, and he's gonna use the officiating has this new policy on like the straight line drive stuff, and he's like heard and he's going at it. Right. He's probably one of the players, him and like Jaime Jaquez Jr. are the guys that maybe taken advantage of that the most this year. But I've just been so impressed with him. And then to your point about the Raptors offense overall, I was talked into it by Esbar and Henny when we did our division previews. He was like, look, I think this is going to work a little bit more. And I was like, I'm trying, like, I want to drink the Kool-Aid with you, but I'm not quite there. He was right, man. Like this team, like what Darko is talking about with the quick decision making, everybody super unselfish offensively. Everybody's setting screens. That's the thing that sticks out to me when I watch this Raptors offense. Nobody's above setting a screen. Brandon Ingram included. Emmanuel Quickley has set a screen. Like nobody's above setting a screen, and you never really know who's going to be setting it. And I don't even know if they know who's going to be setting it until they set it. It's super just like bop, 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 bang, bang. And they lead the team in, they're tops in the league or near the top in the league in passes, in cuts, in shots off of screens. And all of that makes sense when you watch this offense play. Everybody's super willing, super unselfish. The ball movement is great. And I think that's some of that stuff that can make up for that lack of spacing. Now, that said, the starting lineup, still not awesome. But their depth is so good that they almost can get into these like matchup-based sort of mix and match lineups that they get into as the game goes on. Like, Grady Dick, we need you tonight. He goes in for RJ Barrett or whoever, and all of a sudden stuff is clicking. Colin Murray-Boyles has had moments. Mamu Shveli has been awesome for them. Jamal Shed has given them really good moments. Jacoby Walters, who I was really high on going into the draft, is starting to get some minutes. Like, there's just a lot of dudes that I like on this roster.
That's the thing. They got a lot of good guys and young talent on their roster. I think, Mamu was an underrated signing because I don't think most people realize how good he was, because he didn't get a ton of minutes in San Antonio, but when he did, he usually had a spark, and flashed some stuff. Grady Dick is coming along great.
He's got the Isaiah Hartenstein award of backup center who's like, he should play more.
Right. No, I mean, for sure. And it's you have that. You have Grady Dick, who's developing nicely. I love Jamal Shed because when he comes in, man, first off, just built like a tough-ass bulldog. And the way he defends is that way, too. Like, I love all that stuff. And it's not like, okay, he comes in and does that defensively but sucks offensively. No, he creates offensively. Like, I love all this. They got a lot of depth and talents. I think Colin Murray-Boyles is going to be really good.
Yeah.
It's going to take a little bit, but I think he's going to be really good.
He's already thinking the game at a high level for a rookie.
And he's flash. I actually want to say this. All the rookies are. I've been doing these videos on Offside platform and app that I'm working with, and I do these rookie check-ins. And I'll be honest, I'm impressed with the feel of the game all these rookies have had for the most part. That's a tangent. But in general, like, I love the way the Raptors play, the way they're going. I also love the fact that it's on both sides of the ball. We're going to play hard offensively. We're going to play hard defensively, and we're going to put you in bad spots. Like, I'm excited for that. It does have a ceiling for me.
Yep.
I think when we hit to the playoffs, it does have a ceiling. One, you're not going to get as much transition. Two, a lot of these guys don't have a ton of playoff experience and have a lot of great history in terms of runs in the playoffs that I think it'll be interesting to see how that kind of plays out for them. But you can't deny it, man. They're the 2 seed right now. They're rolling. Like, they're definitely a top 6 team. I had them as a play-in team, so I was way wrong in my assessment of them. but it's going to be an interesting way to see how they kind of continue on with this stuff as they get some bumps and bruises as they get going.
100%. And that's okay, right? Nobody's expecting them to come out of the Eastern Conference, but they're building on something here, and they have a system in place. The coach is the real deal. There's a lot of players you like. Maybe in a couple of years, there's a consolidation move that they make and go get that guy.